my gosh, it's raining. Look how beautiful it makes everything. We needed this so badly. Look at the beautiful green. Oh my goodness, I love it. Can you hear the rain? I'm getting raindrops all over my shirt. I gotta go back in my little workshop. I just wanted to show you. Oh my goodness. You can see the raindrops falling. Listen to the rain. Good morning, everybody. It feels so good to be off today and to be out in my workshop, Paper Town. I love Paper Town. So let me talk to you just a minute about what is going to happen on this page. Have some ideas, quite a few ideas. So this page, this spread is probably going to have a lot on it. The first thing that I'm going to do on this page is to add some texture. And I recently bought this old book. It was in with the ephemera, and it is so junky and so torn up. I don't think it was ever going to sell unless it was to somebody like me or you. People who love to paper craft and just love, look at all these names and all of this writing. I can't believe that whoever had this book kept tucking the pages in even after they were falling out. So some of the pages are totally out of order, but I believe they are all here. And talk about scary. I don't know why this looks a little scary to me. Where is the page that has the black stitching? Look, here it is. Here it is. That's the page. And then at the top it says The Reign of Terror. I'm just going to use the pages as they turn up. I love this. I hate to cover it up, but it might show through. So let's just put some glue down. Just make a flat layer of glue. We have needed rain so bad. I mean, everything was really dry outside. I know my plants are just loving this so much. Look at me, all this glue on my hands. I just make such a mess. You know what? I don't mind. I don't mind a mess. That's what water's for. Let's put that right here. Decided to stop the camera for just a minute so that you don't have to watch every bit of this gluing process. I'm going to try something here. I want to just see how this paper, if it'll, let's just see if it'll do what I want it to do. So let's just rub this around. I really want the different lines in the paper to show. I like that. So while that is drying, I will start putting some texture on this page. I'm gluing down paper on this side. I love, this was a picture of Roman domestic architecture. This, what is this? Looks like a gargoyle almost. I wish I had read more of the page before I ripped it apart. I really like this and I want it to show, so I have some beautiful vellum pieces. I have a lot of these that are going to be going into kits soon. And I'm not going to be home tonight. I'm going to go hang out with my son and help with my grandkids in the morning. These paper packs, I've got to get them finished up and get them listed. I think you will love them. Some really fun things. Once my 4 work days start, I am so busy. It's just, I keep saying that. And I'm looking forward to seeing my son. This is my second son. We call him Big Joe. He's a big boy. He's a big man. He'll always be my boy. Okay, so I did want that to show through there. I like that. And I'm going to spray some ink here because I just want to see if it will wipe off of the vellum and still show the design underneath. Yeah. And of course you see where I sprayed over here. I'm okay with that. I think everybody knows by this point that I'm a little on the messy grungy side at times. No, that's okay. This picture is supposedly from the 1800s anyway. Now, I love the way this looks. Let's, I want to see if I can. That may or may not give us the outline of the paper clip. I know alcohol ink does, but you know, it's a little different. Yeah, we got a little bit of a mark there. I like it. It just adds the tiniest bit of interest. And on today's page, I'm writing about something that is really dear to my heart. My mother is such a beautiful person. She is one of the most gentle people I have ever known. She is the most gentle person I've ever known. She's so kind, she's so considerate, and she's so smart, but she is filled with humility. She doesn't think she's smart. I mean, how can I put that? She does not go around promoting herself. She has a lot of beautiful humility. I'm glad she shared with me and my sister that is a very becoming attribute. So, getting to this page, my mother was born a twin, and one of my great aunts that I was very close to was at the birth. So this would have been my great uncle's wife. So she was not related to me by blood, but she felt even closer than that. She was so dear to me. And she told me that my mother was born first, and she told me that, and it was all at home. I keep interrupting myself. The doctor delivered my mother and was packing up his doctor bag to leave. And my aunt, my great aunt, told him, I believe there's another baby there. So he stayed, and sure enough, there was. My great aunt had, I believe, 8 children. I mean, I think she could see something. I don't know. You know, it's just sad to me to think that doctor didn't even realize they were twins, but there were no ultrasounds, nothing like that. My grandmother, and both of these babies were large for that time frame, for the 1940s. I think they both were about 6 or 7 pounds. I just don't think he knew that there was another baby there. But the baby was delivered, and my great aunt said that the baby was born in what they called a veil. It's a caul, C-A-U-L, and babies with this are called caul-bearers. I have been enchanted with that story ever since my great aunt told me about it. I think the baby only lived a couple of days. Being born in a veil, it's like a film over your face, and it's part of the amniotic sac. My mother is different. She's left-handed. She's brilliant. She doesn't think that about herself, but she's very intuitive and very sensitive. And I don't know if she was born in a veil. I don't think she was. I think it was just the twin. And they're not harmful. They can be, they come off very easily. So I'm going to just write a little bit about this. I don't think any of my children even remember this story. And it is something that they need to know. There are some different things in history about caul-bearers. In some time periods, they were thought to be witches. As overall, though, I think it was considered an omen of really good luck. It is said that if you're born in a veil or with a caul, that you will never drown. And I wonder if that's because the babies, you know, they emerge in this bubble of fluid, and I guess superstition would make you think that the baby was born knowing how to swim. I don't know, there are just so many thoughts, but I have this beautiful card by Sulamith Wolfing. She was an artist who was born, I think, in 1901, and she died in around 1989. She was about 88 years old. Her artwork is so stunning, and she supposedly had visions of angels and fairies and elf creatures from the time she was 4 years old, and she talked about that, and she began painting these visions when she was only 4 or 5 years old. She is German. She grew up and lived as a young woman during war-torn times. It is said that her town and her home were destroyed. She was separated from her family, and often her books and her works would be burned, and she was ordered to paint by the rules, which meant painting things that were patriotic and that would lift up the leaders of the time. And that is just a little bit that I have read about her online, looking at things about her work. She's another one that I would love to learn more about. This journal is just uncovering a lot for me that I want to know more about. I love this painting so much because of it just being a babe in a blanket, and it looks like the baby's in the forest. And I think about my aunt who never really lived, you know, just a few short hours. And my great-grandfather, my grandmother's father, his name was Adam. He told my grandmother, I think you're going to have twins. And I think he kind of knew what was going on as well. He and his wife, my great-grandmother Betsy, they had 13 children. So he just kept saying, I think you're carrying 2 babies. And he never lived to see those babies. He died the year that they were born, which is really sad too. My great-grandmother, who had 13 children, she died on Mother's Day. Don't know if I've cut this down enough, but I really want to use this dark bag for the baby because it looks like the baby is in a veil or behind a curtain. And I think that is so symbolic. I just think that's beautiful. I can't decide if I want to cut off the white part here or distress it somehow. I really don't want to spray any ink on this one. So that's better. I like that. Actually, that's perfect. So the little babe is going into this black bag, and I'm going to attach that to the page. I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. So let me get just this. Let me get just this black pen. Let's think about this. What else I want to do? I know what I wanted to do. I'm going to take this flap from the envelope that came with the card because I'm not going to be using it, obviously, for the card. And let's just tear this down a little bit. And I'm going to trust that I will find a way to distress this without messing up the bee. Of course, it might just make it more pretty. It might just make it better and better. So let's put this here, and I want to stamp in black ink. I'm loving this new black ink. I want to stamp the word caul. I don't think I have enough room for caul-bearer, but maybe I do. So let's do that and just tell you what, I have really, really enjoyed these spray inks. Ooh, I love the color that it's putting on that edge. Classic, longer lasting, super stamp pad, classic stamp pad company, New York City. I'll have to look that up. I don't know if it's old, I don't know if it's new. I got it at Scrap. B-E-A, oops, I was gonna write beautiful. Maybe I should write that. It's like something just made me do that. B-E-A-U, I'm gonna write beautiful, because that's what was coming out of my mind. Beautiful. I'm gonna be writing a note about my aunt anyway, and it will have the word caul-bearer in it. So I will definitely be writing about that in the note. Caul beautiful. I like that better. I do. I like it better. A friend of mine named Marquita sent me this beautiful little pincushion. It's felted and it's in a large acorn. I think about her every time I use this. I'm gonna just stitch this loosely. Let's go through the page and we'll make sure it's under the quotes there on the other side. So let's see, let me get this back down on the page. There we go. Okay, so that is the entry for October 10th. And I hope you'll pardon me for being a little bit late with this. The pages are planned, everything is ready to put on the pages. I just got behind because of A, my work schedule, B, a loud party, and C, I knew there was another thing. The night I had that page that was so wet and it just didn't dry in time to get anything done. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Bye for now.